Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2019, and I'm Vicky Stitchin' Button, back for my bi-weekly update on my cross stitch. This is number 39. I got a lot of stuff. I did more stitching than it's funny when I do my videos that first week, I write everything down. As soon as I work on it, I have to write it down or I forget. But that first week, I remember everything, and then by the second week and today shows up, I only remember the last week, not the week before. So any ideas I had in between, if I didn't write it down, I have no idea what I was going to say before. Of course, you don't remember what you ate for breakfast, so that happens too. I received a pretty nice sized box. Matter of fact, hold please. Yes, I used it before I floss tubed, because I need to put it away, but I didn't want to quite put it away. Alright, there's one more thing I had to show. I forgot. So, anyhow, I've been busy. I've been busy stitching. I've been busy. I finished sewing some bags. I've been beading, and as soon as I put away all my beading stuff, the next day I had to pull it all back out to bead some more. It's not a bad problem to have, right? And in 2 weeks I go to Galleria, so I'm not sure when my next video is going to be. 2 weeks from... Okay, I might have one right before Galleria. But I'm not going to go look at the calendar. Okay. Anyway. Not much else going on. I've been busy. I've been doing my thing. And, well, there's going to be a hurricane coming through, apparently. I am in the middle of Florida, south central Florida. And I'll try to put a picture up of the little red dot that I've posted on my Facebook of where I am. Everybody asks, where you at? So I'll put a picture up there and show you where I'm going to be. So I should still be here in 2 weeks. Honestly, I'm aggravated about it. I don't know. Everybody starts like, oh, I gotta pack up. No, I'm aggravated about it. I'm gonna go get some burgers and some snacks, and I guess I'll fill the third 5-gallon water jug that I have, and maybe try to get some batteries. I don't even care. I don't know what has washed over me for this time, but I don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Because apparently, I can't even. I got this box from Jen and Mike from the whole Stitching Caboodle. I mean, not only do I buy from them, but we're also friends, and they saw this box and had to send it to me because they know I just can't even. And apparently, I can't even with this hurricane. I refuse. So, there you go. Let's get to it. I guess I'll go in my list order. I worked on some stuff. Okay, this one's going to have a story behind it. There's usually a story behind something. I worked on Scary One. Apparently there was a little response to my little story about Audrella, and now I've been made out to be Victorina, the witch that can't drive, and she killed me. Audrey killed me. In her story, apparently I drowned in the cauldron and I haunt it. I made her a warrior that fought in the battle of the giants, and she killed me. Yet I'm the crybaby. That's why hashtag Audrey is a bully. Okay? I did work on Scary One, because Gary and Audrey are finished, but I have a lot more whips going on, and bigger ones. I got bigger ones. How about that? So I did work on Audrella. I'm looking for something because I didn't grab my board. Oh, it's right here. what I worked on was the snake, and she's got floating shoes right now, but I worked on the snake and her dress and the bat. Not bad. I had to do, I forget, some stitches for homework. You know how that goes. I mean, it sounds like the same thing over and over again, but it's making me stitch and get stuff done, so that's a good thing. So yeah, the snake, the dress, and the bat, and she's got some floaty shoes. So that's what I've done on Audrella, my warrior that I did not kill. And I'll put a picture up there of what it's supposed to look like. All my colors are changed, as I said before. I might be using one called for color. I don't even know about that though. Alright, my next one that I worked on was my dragonfly, which is over here, and I'll put a picture in of the dragonfly here. I was able to get in a couple more 100 stitches. I think it was like 200 more stitches since the last time, and then a couple extras. But that's 800 stitches right there. Not bad. I'm going to need to work on it some more because the homework this week, you picked 5 things and numbered them, and then they spun a wheel to pick which house was going to work on what number whip, and mine was number 4. So then I ended up working on Sweet Home Sampler, which I'll show you in a few. But one of the other 5 that I put on the list was the dragonfly. I also put, where's my list? I have it here. There's 4 others I put on, obviously, because I had to choose 5. So Dragonfly, Space Traveler, Animal Magnetism, and Christmas Eve Ride. So you have to do 500 on the main one, which was my Sweet Home Sampler. Did that. Then you can do 200 on each one of the other ones for extra points. So I did the 500 on Sweet Home Sampler, and wait till you see that. That's almost done. Last week, though, let's go back up. One of the things that I also bought that I'll show you the big haul that I got from them, but I wanted to get, I was curious about what my thoughts were. Okay. Let you into my brain. Don't get too afraid. I showed you before that I was working on Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland is a Mill Hill design, and it will look like this when it's done. Sans the bunny, because I'm not putting the bunny on. Right? Well, I had it on this set of stretcher bars, which is a 6-inch stretcher bar, because it's a 6-inch piece of perforated paper. Well, I couldn't quite get to the edges. So I bought a 7-inch set of mini. It ended up being minis, and it didn't fit on there. So when I ordered from Jen from the whole stitching caboodle, I ordered 6-inch minis instead of doing a 7-inch plain. I did 6-inch minis. So as soon as they came in, I had to make sure I was right, and I was. It fits perfectly. The whole piece fits on there perfectly, and it gives me that margin so I can get the side stitches in there. Now, I haven't stitched on it since, but at least I have it mounted on there, and I can get to those side stitches when I do start stitching on it again. So if you've got one of these larger Mill Hill buttons and beads kits, and it comes with the, it says the design is 5x5. Most of them are about a 6x6 piece of paper that they give you. I would suggest getting the mini stretcher, not the regular, the mini 6x6s. They're thinner, and they're perfect. You'll be able to get to all the edges of your project, unlike when I did the regular 6-inch. That's my sage advice. Trial and error, and they're cheap enough. I think a pack, it comes 2 to a pack, so you can match the sizes. You can do like 6x10 and stuff like that. So you have to get 2 packs to make it a square, and I don't know that they cost. It was less than $3 a pack, and I don't think that's bad. And then you buy the tacks. You can buy a box of tacks separate, and there's plenty of tacks in there for a couple of frames. So, and that was inexpensive also. So I say all that because I've been stitching this one in hand. This one's called A Little Coffee, and I'll put a picture in of it here. this was part of homework last week, and I was able to get my stitches in. What I worked on was these beans, this whole cup. I had to do that whole entire cup, and then I started this cup. These smoke lines were there, or steam lines were there, but I put in this whole entire cup. So I did pretty good. I think there was only two beans there. So I did 3 beans, 2 cups. And I think there's more to this cup. There's a couple more lines to this cup, but I finished off what I needed to do for it, so I put it away. But in that, I was stitching in hand with this, and when I took that off of there, I was like, oh, I could put this, and it does. It fits perfectly for this. To put now, I put a lot more tacks on this one because it's linen, and when you do linen and you have to sort of, and this isn't even all the way tight because I don't want to pull holes into it. Although it's a thicker linen, it probably won't pull as many holes as one of those flimsier ones that likes to stretch and move. But I figured this is good to just keep it there. That's good enough for me. I didn't want to pull it too tight. So. But I'm happy with my progress on that. Oh, goodness. Where did it go? Oh, huh? How do you lose a bag sitting in one spot? I mean, I didn't even get up. So, that's a little coffee. That's by Lizzie Kate. I am using all Victoria Motto sample threads for that. Choosing my own color scheme. And then what did I work on? I worked on Starry Night. I had to get in, I forget how many stitches, some. And I was able to get some in, and now I've decided I've moved this up to Q-snaps because I don't think I stitch as well in hand as I do with a Q-snap. I don't think my tension is consistent enough when I stitch in hand. So here I am with Starry Night. Not bad, and I'll put a picture up here. What I did was I did a lot of the black down in here, and I did some fill in here and the top black just to get my rest of my stitch, because I think I ended up having 500 stitches on it, and I just wanted to get the rest of my stitches in quick, and it was just quicker to do all one solid color in one area than jump around like I was. And as I said before, I don't like the color chart. I don't like that I can't mark it. I don't like that I can't see the grid lines. So it's hard to, I've been wanting to put this in a grid by grid like I did with the Dragonfly, because I'm liking how the grid by grid goes. But it's hard to do with this one because you can't see where the lines are, so you have to make your own pseudo block. Plus you have to watch how much you carry over, like when you're parking and stuff, because they don't get, I mean, if I run out of this woolly thread, where am I going to get more of that thread? I don't know. Okay, next, I had to do 200 or 500, I forget, 200 stitches on something that was, oh, I did 500 stitches on something that was red for extra credit, because I was on a stitch and roll. So what I did was pulled out One Nation, because I knew that that was going to be a fast 500. It's all lines. It's all lines. Well, and then some lettering. But I pretty much did the lines from, I think I was right around here somewhere with the red lines, and I extended it over, and then I realized I'm counting too much, and I could be putting lettering in there. And so I moved down here and did some lines and then put some motif in there. That's going to be Merlin. And then I realized I should have put New Jersey in there instead of moved, but I had already moved the hoop for this. So I was like, oh well, I'll just keep on going because it all needs to be done. So that's where I'm at. This is One Nation. I'm still loving that Cupid. It's still like my favorite. And I'll put a picture of it up here. And I still suggest that you don't go with what they call for as far as the fabric. I think you should go a shade or two darker in the brown color. And this one is, I'm doing it in the call for threads, but I'm doing it on Creek Bed Brown, and I think it's a 32 count, and it's by either R&R or Lakeside. I think I can never remember which one it is. But good progress on that, and it was pretty quick. I was happy to get that in real quick and get to see that progress. I also have been eyeing up my grapes pillow and trying to find a reason to start it. Well, I found one because I can do it in a year-long challenge that's 1,000 stitches. So I found 2 different challenges I could do it for 1,000 stitches each, and I started it the other day. I started Saturday or Sunday? Sunday. Of course, I go and pull it out, and I'm like, okay. Then you pull the first couple of colors. I'm starting in the top left corner. I pull it out. I go to pull the colors. The first like 5 colors are blended threads. So I'm like, it figures. And I will show you what I did to help myself. But this is where I've gotten. I don't know. There we go. It's purple. They're purples, and they're all 3 or 4 colors that I put in there are blended threads. I think it's like 200 stitches or something like that. I forget. Oh wait, I might have it written down. I don't know where I put it. Extra credit. It might be in the bag. I don't know. How many did I get in? Now I'm curious. And I can't find it. I hope I kept it, because otherwise I'll be mad. I could count them again because I started it now, right? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, because it's not there, it's here. I did 140 stitches. Not bad. Alright. Like I said, that's purples. And what I've done to help myself, and this is something that I made 2 of these. One of these grid things were for a Heaven Earth design before, and then one was for my Lemons, Limes, and More pillow that I finished, which is also a Vermilion. Oh, this is Grapes pillow. It's by Vermilion, Donna Giampa Vermilion, and it's from September 2010 magazine, and you can get it by leaflet also, by the way. I didn't like this, what I'm going to show you. I didn't like it for the height. It just didn't work good for me, but it worked well with this, especially with the color changes that are in it, but not full coverage, so you're not parking like you would, because it's not full coverage. Anyway, so what I did for Lemons, Limes, and More is I got a piece of Ada. And this happens to be, I don't even know how big this one is. It's a 18 by 12. And it was just a piece of Ada that I had sitting around I wasn't going to use. And I took a roller and Sharpie markers and I made a grid line. Gridded the whole entire thing out. Now, originally what I'd done, what had happened was, I was writing the symbols in each square for what I needed. Well, that's all fine and good, but then when you're done that project, then the symbols all change. So somebody had mentioned, why don't you put numbers in the corner, and that makes more sense. So what I did this time was I numbered all the squares, and I start down at the bottom. I don't know why, but I start down in the bottom left-hand corner, and ended up here. And I put numbers, and then on my chart, I wrote, obviously, a working copy, because you're going to write on it. For every symbol, you want to number the symbol. So I just started at the top and worked my way down 1 through whatever. This one happens to have, I forget, it's not quite, this has 49 squares. It would have 50, but I put extra needles in here. And with this way, you are going to need more needles. You're going to need a lot, so if you can get a big pack, that'd be great. And I pulled this, okay, for the first color, well, the first symbol, I should say, I pulled the 2 colors because, like I said, they're all blended. And I pulled it out, and then what would be a normal length for DMC, I cut in half, because you're going to have 2 threads, so you're not going to be able to do the loop method on it. So I cut it in half and I put half of that back in the bag with the rest of that color. And I took the 6 strands and I separated the 6 strands, and then I did the same for the other color that it was going to go with. And then I paired the two together and loaded my needles. And there, if you see, because I was stitching, there's only 4 in this one. So I've already used 2 needles and parked them in this top corner. And then I have 5 needles here now, so that means I used one of them. There's 4 here and 5 there. So I've used all 4 of those colors so far in that one corner. But these are all blended threads. They're all 2 different colors each. And this works great. Now, if I was going to put this away for an extended time, what I'd then do, and I'm just going to do the one. Let's see if I can do this backwards. If I know it's not going to be a color that I'm going to use for a while, what I was doing with my other one is I'd take the length and do like a sailor twist on it. Okay. So it's in there, and I do a sailor twist like this, like a figure 8 around the needle. And by doing that, it takes up that length of thread. Usually I do them one at a time. Hang on, I'm going to finish doing it so I can show you what it looks like. By doing that, it takes up that length of thread and it keeps it from getting tangled with the other ones and looking like hair. Right now, it looks like a lot of purple hair right now. So, okay. If I was doing it with my right hand, I'd probably be doing it faster too. So, when I'm done, each one of them would look like this. And then you can just undo it. It's not a big deal. But it keeps it from getting tangled and stuff. Right now this isn't really tangled and there's only 4 colors and I'm using them. So if I was going to use one cut, like say I was going to use this one next and I only had a little bit going, I'd probably just load 1 or 2 needles. Or I'd load the 1 needle, put the stitches and put that needle here and wrap the thread around my needle like that. So it would be bundled in there and not be in the way of the other threads and needles. So if you need further explanation, if something doesn't make sense, if it's clear as mud, just let me know. Message me, okay, and I can help you out with that. But that's what I do for this, and it seems to work. The initial time you take to do it is a little bit of time, but while you're stitching, you keep the flow, and that's, you know, that's part of your problem. Once you start stitching, you're like, you don't want to stop and have to reblend and reblend and reblend. And plus, what, you know, you got half of this color going on, half of that color. Where's it going? So this just, I know the whole 6 strands are going to be in there, and we're good. And it does use up a lot of needles, but that's okay. I bought a whole bunch way back in the day. Like I was buying them by 100. So it works for me. Let's see. Star Wars. Last Jedi. Next one is going to be Sweet Home Sampler. The pillow's done on Lugana. It's just white Lugana, 28 count with DMC, called for colors. Don't need to get, it's so in-depth and detailed and shaded, you don't really need to change it out. And it's grapes, it really looks cool. I'll put a picture in, I'm sure, when I edit. Okay. The one that I worked on for 500 stitches this week, I think I finished the 500 last night, was Sweet Home Sampler. It's by Mary Engelbright. It was in one of her books. And I started this before I left Philly in 2007. And I would guess it had to have been probably close to 2004, 2005. I didn't think that it was full coverage when I started it. It never even dawned on me. But it is. And I took out the flower border in here, was just too busy. And I'll put a picture in so you can see what it's supposed to look like. But basically what I'm doing is just this, and I just put in the checkers, because there's checkers, but then there's some overlap with the flowers. You can figure out a checker without without having it charted out for you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to do the checkers all the way around. I am almost done. Most of that white's done, as you can see in there. Then there's white here, and there's a little bit of cloud here, but the rest is all light blue, and then the checkers, and I'll be done that part. Then comes back stitching. There's like crisscross lines for the windows, a doorknob. There's a whole bunch of back stitching for flowers, and there's a couple lazy daisies in there, along with French knots. So I'm not looking forward to that part. It's not my favorite, but I think it's going to look great. I think it looks cute, and it's filthy. Look at that line. That's how old it is. I mean, it used to have masking tape on it. But I'll get it done. I'll wash it up and hope for the best. And if the dirt doesn't come out, then it looks like I'll have to get a frame or a mat that's right on top of that, won't I? That's another thing. I also had an FFO, and I forgot to bring it in, and I'm not going to get it. I'll insert a picture here. It is, what's it called? It's a Jardin Privé. The Way to Happiness, that's what it's called. The Way to Happiness. It's a freebie on her blog. All you have to do is Google her. If I have the link, I'll put it below. But it's her blog, and I think it's moved over to her website. But she's got, it's a whole freebie series. I think it was 5 parts. I did that, and I think I finished it like last year. And I was on Virtual Stitchers. We were talking on Virtual Stitchers, and I happened to bring out my bag, my hanging bag of finishes. And they yelled at me, why am I not finishing them? You know, why am I not FFOing them? So while I was talking smack with them, I went ahead and was measuring up, because this one frame that I bought, I wanted it to fit on Beans from Plum Street that I finished. But it doesn't fit. The frame's just slightly too big. So, in looking at the other stuff, the Way to Happiness actually fit perfectly in there. Perfect. So I kept it out, and I cleaned up the frame and took out the glass. The glass ended up breaking in my hand because it got stuck. But thank goodness it only broke in 2 pieces. One piece in my hand and the one in the frame. So I got rid of that, cleaned it up, and I pinned the piece on, and it's framed and hanging on the wall already. And I'll insert a picture of it so you guys can see it, or I should have inserted one by now, so you can see it. And I'm just going to have to find a new frame, another different frame for Beans. I have some other finishing for friends that I need to do in the next 2 weeks to take up to Galleria with me. I have some beading that needs to be done by the end of the week. I have some more sewing that needs to be done. But I don't think I'm doing my dispatch stuff next week for the most part, if at all. So I should be able to find time to get all that done. It's like the push, you know about stuff for months, and then 2 weeks before you're like, I didn't get it done. That's where I'm at now. Okay, so that was Sweet Home Sampler. I put in the picture of that, and then there's one more thing I worked on a little bit last night. I only got in a few stitches, and it is Christmas Eve Ride. This one is by Needle Bling, and all I did was finish this half of the reindeer last night. That's all I got in there. The fabric is Fabric for You, and I think it's a 32 count, and I don't know that it had a name, but I'll put a picture in here of Christmas Eve Ride so you can see it. It's still available. That's by Needle Bling. That's Teresa Curry, and she'll be at Galleria. I get to see her again. It's really cute with the Santa and everything. Let me think. That's it for stitching. A couple other things that I wanted to bring up was, I did the stretcher bars. Virtual Stitchers. If you're not part of it, then come join us. I mean, you don't have to do the video. You could just do voice. It's good to be able to, I mean, especially if you can't have somebody right there in your living room with you stitching, then at least they're there on your screen. Also, they do have, if you keep an eye out, they do have live videos, and I'll link them below because you can go ahead and subscribe to them, because we'll do live videos and we'll talk to people that are typing in while we're in the live video. So you won't, if you do it that way where you join through YouTube, you're not in the video, you're just typing and you see us video, and then every so often we show what we're stitching and stuff like that, and you can ask questions or you can stitch along and babble with us if you'd like. Join us. There's a group on Facebook too, so I guess I'll put both links. You can join the Facebook group and the and subscribe on YouTube. I don't know, I don't remember if I said anything or if I even did it. See, this is what I mean by the every 2 weeks. I created a group, and I'm not sure if I did it right before my last video or not, and I didn't feel like going back and watching the videos to see if I mentioned it. But I created a group on Facebook. It's called Stitch and Button, same name as here on YouTube, and I've been posting all my stuff in albums on there to buy, like my bags, my minders, my fobs, and my poles, and anything else I end up creating. I figured that'd be a good central place for people to look for things. So if you haven't joined already and you want to see, feel free to join. There's like a couple questions, and the only reason why I ask questions is because you get some really weird people joining groups for no reason, and I don't need those weird. Oh, I know weird people. Okay, so I don't need not my kind of weird people in there, or spammers or whatever. So there's just a couple of questions. Go ahead and answer them just so I know that you're a person that wants to actually look at stuff. What else? That's it for that kind of stitching, and I'm just going to move this so I don't lose these threads. I was changing colors on my Christmas Eve ride. Oh look, it's fabric for you. 32 count Lugana. Didn't have a name on the tag for that fabric for Christmas Eve ride. Okay. The other things that I had was I spent too much money at one point and it all came in at once. Okay. First of all, I did not spend money on this. What I did was I trade. A friend of mine does, and I feel like, I don't know if I did in my last video, but I double checked the date of the video and this postmark, and this was postmarked the day after my video, so I'm going to assume that I didn't show it because it was in my to show box. I'm losing my mind. Okay, so this is really cool. Like her whole calligraphy thing, look how cool that is. Oh, her writing. A friend of mine, she's a cross-stitch friend of mine, and I'm not going to name her because she's sort of a private person, and if she wants to comment below and say, yeah, it was me, then she's more than free to. But she started watercolors, and she said, anybody who wants watercolors, go ahead and let me know, and, you know, I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'll do something for you. And I didn't do it. It's been over a year. I think she said it's 2 years now. But I didn't take her up on it because I knew people would be like, oh, me. Well, she posted yet another watercolor the other day. Well, I say the other day, but it was about a month ago. And finally I was like, hey, you know, I've been holding out and I really like your stuff. I think it's really cute and I'd love to have one to put up on my board. And she was like, what, did you want it for a card? I said, no, I want it to put up, because I think I've shown my magnet board before that's in front of my desk. And I just like to have stuff like that. So I asked her, I told her what I liked, and she said, okay. I said, take as long as you like. It doesn't matter. It's not a rush. And we made a trade. I sent her something just because, you know, I know she would have just done it, but I just felt like I needed to send her something anyway. But this is what she came up with. And I like it. I love it. Of course, it's coffee and blue. She paid attention. She said, the cup and saucer are done with Turner watercolors. The metallic details are done with Jack Richson metallic watercolors. And the paper is from Strathmore's Visual Journal. So she even says what she used on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And she signed it for me. And I'll put it up there. I just wanted to wait until I showed it to you guys. I think that's really cool. And she even put some stock in there so it wouldn't get bent in the mail. It's very thorough, she was. I thought that was cool. Anyway, so then on to purchases, because we're 35 minutes in and I want to get done already. First thing I did, Q-snap clamps. I always need Q-snap clamps. And I never know what size, and so I order my popular ones, and eventually I'll have what I need, right? So they're going to go in that basket back there. That's where I put these. For now, they'll go there. Okay. Heather, Link is my homeboy, there was a sale with her, I mentioned it last time, and so I ordered Color and Cotton. And what I did was I ordered the first like 2 letters of the alphabet because I put them in alphabetical order, and then the other ones I ordered just because I like those colors and I thought I'd be able to use them. So here they are. And basically this one is too close to my face to read. Battleship, Espresso, Americano, Purple Rain, I am not going to sing, Poseidon, Ocean with an A at the end, Aloha, and Flamingo. So that's what I got. I'm pretty sure Americano and Aloha were the first 2 in the alphabet, because I figured I get the colors I like, then the first 2, and if I really want to start collecting them, then I've got the first 2 and I'll just go down the alphabet like that. But I'm happy with my purchases. Look at those colors. Look how great. And she put them in this order, by the way. So she even like rainbowed it for me and everything. I thought that was cool. Now those can go away. Yay! Okay. This is all the easier stuff to show because I've got a whole bunch of charts. Okay. Picture this plus. Again, all these came from the following fabrics and charts, and those clamps came from the whole Stitching Caboodle. And I'll link them below, of course. She had some fabric, and there was a couple of different times I said, "Me please" on it. This one's Barnwood. Maybe I'll just keep them in half. Barnwood by Pictures Plus. It's a little slightly washed out, but that's pretty close. This one's 28 count. I usually go for 32, but she had some 28 and I swooped it up. Especially this color. This one's Hermosa. It's like a denim. Reminds me of denim, like stonewash. And that's 28 count, and this is a fat quarter I got. Big old one. Then she had a piece of oaken in Cashel, 28 count, and it was an odd size. And who can't use some extra oaken? So I got this piece that's 10 by 27. But I'm sure it'll fit some things, especially some of those Plum Street sampler pillows and stuff like that. But like that. 28 count. Okay, and then there's 32 count. I had to get some more Halloween-y stuff, like Eek. I got a fat quarter of that. It's that orange with the gray mixed in there. And then I bought a fat quarter of Monster Mash. Look at that. Love that. This one doesn't have as much black on the one side. that's my fabrics that I bought. Not that I needed any. I didn't need any, but I wanted, so I did. Alright. Ready? Try to keep this under an hour, maybe. Go through these a little bit quickly. Okay. So, I bought Bent Creek, the owls. These thankful owls. I don't think I'm going to do the words. I just want it for the fork and these freaky looking owls there. Look at those eyes. Made me crack up. Yes, please. And then the heart and hand stitching bird. Love that. Heart and hand. Love is in the Air by Country Cottage. I don't know what year. That picture, even though it's blurred, it's not much clearer in person, even if I was to take it out of the plastic, but it's cute. Okay, and then Lila's Studio. The bee comes. It says, the flower doesn't dream of the bee, it blooms and the bee comes. And then it has EU, I guess, for somebody Umstead, I betcha. Lila's real first name? I don't know. Anyway, but I really like that. I think that's cute. And then I also broke down and bought Quilting Bee from the Blue Flower. Very cool. And Cricut collection. She had some Cricut collections going on. So some of this stuff she has what's called the Magic Closet. So she's got in stock, and sometimes you can get it at a discount. Sometimes it's full price. It just depends how old it is and how many she's got. So I got Be Ye Thankful. Got Acorn. Cricut collection. I also got Winter Circle. Can't really see. I wish this one was a bigger picture because you can't even really see it. But it's really cool. I also got a little late in the game, but I decided finally to do Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House. And I got the first 4. So that's the banner. And you guys know how I am about mystery stuff, so I had to make sure I liked the stuff, and so far the first 4 are cool, so we'll go with it. And I could always say no to the rest, right? Part 2 is the Douglas Fir on a little Woody truck. Part 3 is Family Fun. And then part 4 is the Balsam Fir. At first I was like, I just got a tree. Did they send me 2 of the same one? No, it's 2 different trees. Well, actually, it looks exactly like the other tree that's in the other truck, but it's different cars. Different vehicles. Still cute, like those. Okay, then I also, I don't know if I saw this on somebody else's Flosstube, I can't remember. But I had to get it. It's called Hopes and Dreams. It's by Needle Bling, and it says, keep your hopes afloat, let your dreams set sail. I don't know, did Steph do that? Did you do this? She might have done this. I don't know. She may have, but I liked it, and I bought that. It came up. Then Delivering the Coffee Beans. This is a newer one from her. Homespun Elegance. And yes, please, it's coffee. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And a couple of older ones from Bent Creek. I bought Trick or Treat Row. Trick or Treats on my feet. And I also bought Will You Be My Valentine? Just a Valentine row. And then Amy Brooken has Cross Stitch Party, and it says, I like to party, and by party I mean cross stitch. Well, the whole Stitch and Caboodle, we have the live shows, and we call ourselves the Caboodlers and the Caboodleettes and stuff like that. So Amy Brooken's been in there before and sat with us in the live party. She wasn't in the chat. And she also made a sub design of it that says, I like to party, and by party I mean Caboodle. So that was very sweet of her. And I hope she's there at Galleria. I don't remember if I saw her name on the list, but I hope she's there again. Her and her husband are great. I also bought Beach Bounty. I am loving the colors. I'm not normally a Stony Creek because of the color changes and stuff. Not that I don't appreciate them, but for some reason this one called to me. I love the net. I love the colors. It's really cool. So Beach Bounty it is. And then I don't like all of the Santas from Prairie Schooler. So, but when I saw this book 195, Santas Revisited, of the 1990, 94, and 2005 Schooler Santas, I actually liked all three. So I bought it. And it is the quilting one, and this Forest Life one. I love that raccoon. And then the sunflower one with the bird house and the big old sunflower. Love that too. And there's a bird in there in this sack too. Two of them. That didn't even sound right. Scratch that. Okay, so moving right along. One more chart. It's Tree of Life Samplings. It's called Favored, and it just says highly favored. It has some alphabet and 1793 on it, and some keys, and I just thought it was cute. That's Jan Alexander. And then I bought the Halloween edition, and I've gone through it and put my little tags as to which ones I like. And I'm not sure, I know people have shown this before. Oh look, apparently here I am. Because I was killed and drowned in a cauldron. No wonder I'm haunting her. Anyway, this has been shown a few times, and there's some really cute ones in there that I've marked off. Let's see. In case you're interested on which ones I liked. I like this one. Although that moon looks like it's gonna like give me an aneurysm. I like the All Hallows Eve. Something about this one. But I think I might want to change the colors. But I still like it. That log cabin look. And then this one's Cassandra Fairy in the Wool that does this one. Home Sweet Haunted Home. That's cute. That looks like a quick stitch. I'm digging these two guys right here. I don't know why, but I like them. I think they're cute. And what else? Here's some tags. This one's by Stitchy Fish Designs. I like that one. That's a few of them. And that's all I got. I have touched base with everything I think that's on here. Oh, real quick. Some of the bags that I just finished, if you're interested, I did put them on my Instagram. I've been putting them on I put them on my group first, and then a couple days later I put them on the Instagram. I figured that should be a perk of being in the group. You get first dibs, right? So I made another one of these. I've sold plenty of these, so I made it extra of that because I had to make one anyway. This is a one and done. So if you like gardening and you like seed packets and stuff, come get it. Let me know. There's a sunflower here. This is also a one and done. This is all I've got of this one. This is a coffee one. And this one looks like a granite countertop. And it's got a coffee cup with a heart in it. See? And then I made more Coffee Diva bags. So I have two of these. And this has this charm. These two have these charms. So if you're interested, go over to the group, join the group, and or go to Stitch and Button Crafts on Instagram and let me know. And I'll get those right out. I'm usually pretty good about shipping. I think that is it. See, I gotta put it away. I don't want them to get messed up. Okay. I did start watching Flosstube. I've actually met her in Virtual Stitchers. Been talking to her forever. Her name is Lisa. Her Flosstube name is ShadyTreezStitcher or Stitchers. I'll double check and I'll link her below. You check her out. She's from Australia and she's eclectic with what she stitches on. She can do new, old, simple, not so simple, you know, intricate. And I like that she's got a variety like we do. Really nice woman. Her name is Lisa. She's a teacher. I think she's a music teacher in Australia. And she's newer to Flosstube, so give her check her out and give her a shout out. And a subscribe would be great. I am looking around as I normally do. I got nothing. Alright, I'm done. Alright, just remember, don't let anybody steal your sunshine. I'll see you in a couple weeks.